Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I've got game number 1 of a best of 1. It's a ladder game and it is going to be some Zerg versus Protoss. In the top left position spawning as the red Zerg from Team Liquid, we have Ret. And his opponent spawning in the bottom right, the blue Protoss player from a Nexus. It is Verdi. Verdi very good, having a nice run at WCS EU Challenger Season 1. He's not that well known because I believe he's, I think he's Russian. I'm not 100% sure on that though, but it is that area of the world anyway. So I know the reason I know that is because he tried to compete in ESET UK Masters Season 1 and unfortunately he was unable to get visa to get over into the UK to come and compete, which was obviously very annoying for all of us and also for him too. So yeah, a bit unfortunate there. One of the issues that a lot of players do have is getting visas. So as it stands at the moment, the Overlord just happily making his way out here for Ret. Ret should be going for a pull into Hatch into a quick third. The reason he needs a quick third is because this pylon on the low ground. Verdi going to be going for a Forge Fast expansion. It will be Forge first, so this leaves open the risk of a cannon rush, something the Ret needs to be aware of. It's unlikely to be coming down on a ladder edition of Whirlwind because of course no force spawn positions, and therefore by the time you scout it out, to get that cannon rush down is very hard. It's why a lot of Zerg players, and actually Ret in this occasion, is going to risk the hatch first. It's safe-ish to do ish because, as I said, spawn positions means it's difficult to spot. The Forge first from Verdi is really just a safety thing more than anything else, because early pulls can come down on Whirlwind quite happily. Can run you into some problems. A lot of that made popular by, of course, Start Out Life with his very aggressive style of Zerg play. But yep, Foden Cannon coming down here. Nexus should be started up once the 400 minerals have been gathered, so the probe just going to sit there, ready and waiting. The cannon before Nexus means that this Nexus is pretty damn late. Clearly Verdi slightly concerned about what Ret could be doing. Metagaming Ret, I would not be expecting early aggression from him. He likes drones. Lots and lots and lots of drones. So, not likely to be coming in for an early pull or any super fast aggression. He wants to just get up to sort of 70 plus drone mark as fast as he can and then start piling on the pain. But anyway, these overlords, they're making way through. Just kind of realised that, okay, Verdi's not in the bottom left. I wonder if he's in the bottom right or cross spawn. Cross spawn I actually think is best for Ret on Whirlwind against the Protoss, because he can then expand up to 4 bases relatively comfortably without taking too much of a risk, and it also means that he's got some nice areas to defend. This is not too much of a tight choke, especially when the rocks are down, so force fields aren't great. He's got some nice area here, especially if a Colossus force tries to push in. This ledge really important for Corruptors, if he tries to take out some Colossus, because they can come in from this way, get in. Also, good option for some flanks, and that's obviously really nice. Same goes for the 4th base expansion, pretty similar in terms of positioning. Plus, this area here, very wide and open, so force field's not too effective. That's one of the big things that Ret's going to like about this map. Verdi, of course, though, does have the option of taking a quick third himself, because there's not too many ways Ret can punish that if it's done nicely. So, wait to see what they do have in store. With Cybercore coming down, Ret sending out the Zerglings to scout, knowing it's cross spawn. He wants to see exactly what's happening slightly earlier. May leave one Zergling in the watchtower, or no. It's something you can do that's quite nice, but there we go. Third coming down for Ret. That's a bit late, actually. It's because he started up speed super fast, so didn't know whether it was a gateway expand or this Forge Fast expand, and that's going to be a little bit frustrating for Ret, because if he did know that this was down, he would have wanted that third about a minute earlier than when he got it. It's not terrible though, because it was a Forge first, not a Nexus first, so he's not stupidly far behind. Now Verdi, he's here getting up the Stargate, so probably going to be going into Phoenix production. I like Phoenix on this map because you can be very frustrating. You can pick off Overlords, deny some scouting, and Ret's already a bit starved of scouting information himself, so not going to be too happy about that. And of course the third and main can be harassed very comfortably. You can poke back and forth, the natural as well. Good little paths that Phoenix can run through just to try and deal as much damage as possible, keep that harassment going, but probably won't be a big commitment because we do see the +1 ground weapons is on its way, so the Phoenix aren't going to be a transition into Skytoss super fast, not something that's so popular nowadays, at least not as popular as it was in the Wings of Liberty beta. So what is going to be coming out of the Stargate, Verdi? It is a Phoenix. That is all good. Of course, for anyone who didn't know, you can see what's being made from Stargates by the little animation in the middle, which is really helpful because then you know what you've got to deal with. Anyway, Ret, he's in a perfectly fine spot. He's just going to drone stupidly hard. He's got 2 Zerglings out. He lost 2, I believe, earlier on. He's made... Oh, no, he hasn't actually. Only made the 2. Wow. Okay, so 2 Lings is all that's come out. Neither player losing anything as of yet. Ret's drone count is going to start skyrocketing, though, because he's injecting off of 3 hatches now. He's just going to be able to pump out so much. He's going to grab the additional gas, taking him up to 4. Good income, getting up to lair. Really, he just needs to identify what's coming down. He can't really go Spire when Phoenix are already out in the field, so once they're revealed, that's going to kind of pigeonhole that, and the Overlord instantly seeing Ret would be wise to get a couple more Overlords out, queued up ready, just due to how many are probably going to go down across the map, but actually doesn't have many forward, only this one, so may not even be necessary for him to do so. One more up here. This will supply block Ret, so yeah, he starts up another one, ready and waiting, so good control out of Ret there. These Phoenix revealing themselves just means that, yeah, pigeonholes Ret not into going Madals, really. Going to see four out, because this game was played a while ago before the kind of really common 2 Phoenix were coming through. But the follow-up, we see the Twilight Council is on its way, ready to start +2, the second +1 finishes, and also gets down the robotics facility. 4 spores out of Ret, a bit of a big commitment, in my opinion. Also, this spore in an interesting position, not able to cover the middle line at all, so that could lead to some fun times. Infestation Pit and Hydra Den both coming down though, so we're probably going to be getting Swarm Host Hydra out of Ret, which is a nice composition against this sort of build, because that covers you on both angles. One, you've got the Hydras to deal with Gateway and Phoenix armies, and if your opponent goes for a lot of Skytoss, you've got Swarm Hosts, and Skytoss doesn't deal with Swarm Hosts too nicely. So yeah, we've got a couple of drones getting picked off here. This is really what Verdi needs to do. That 1 Queen is not threatening in the slightest. Grand total of 6 workers have been killed, so nothing disastrous, and we do actually have 5 Phoenix out on the field now. That's pretty big. 5 Phoenix. Personally, I think 4 is the optimum number if you're only going to be using them for harassment, but of course Spore Call is down everywhere, meaning that these Phoenix aren't going to be able to do too much now, and Ret going to try and secure up a 4th very early before even scouting to see whether a 3rd has been taken by Verdi. A couple of Immortals are on their way, a Colossus following that up. That's fine. Enduring Locust is coming down. 1 or 2 Colossi, not going to be a threat for Hydra Swarm Host. They just won't be able to push through. More than a couple though, that's really where we need to see Ret tech up into Hive, get down the Vipers, because the abducts will be critically important. So, Phoenix on the way back. Meanwhile, Ret, he's just kind of sitting back, he's droning, he's up to 78 drones, and this is really where the pain is going to start coming for Verdi. 100%. He's going to sit down here and just be like, well, just how much can I make? And the answer is going to probably be a lot. He's going to start pumping out everything. He's getting down a Spire, interesting. So Mako actually Hydra Swarm Host Corruptor. The only downside to that is the Corruptors can get picked off quite quickly, but Corruptors or Vipers are a good way to deal with those Colossi. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Viper style. I think that it is good. Like, Vortex uses it so effectively. Vortex in ZVP actually rates Vipers as one of the most important units, full stop. So that's always a good thing a good indicator that it's a nice way to go. These Phoenix, are going to get caught if they're not careful, but do manage to get out of the way of the Hydras. The Hydras, of course, don't yet have muscular augments. That's only just got started, which means it will be a bit more difficult to try and pick that off. But the scouting has gone down. Those are the 4th bases there for Verdi. And Verdi has a 3rd, but that's spotted now by Ret. He's going to just poke and prod at it, may even try and siege it up. The Swarm Hosts, remember, I don't believe they've been revealed yet. I'm not sure if these Phoenix did see them, but charges coming down from the Twilight Council. Interestingly, a 2nd Stargate now starting up. That is quite surprising. What has been seen here to trigger that? Well, no Swarm has been seen, no scouting in the main. So, maybe just wanting to transition into that Colossus Void Wave Force, which is very scary to deal with. But that makes Vipers all the more important. You need to get some good abducts down there. Also, a couple of Infestors wouldn't be a bad move, just so you can lock the Vipers back, so you can engage the ground army and then take out the air later. But Ret rapidly approaching that critical mass of Swarm Hosts. He's already over it, to be fair. Anything over about 8 Swarm Hosts is where they become terrifying. They've got +1 as well, so the Locust deal a huge amount of damage. No double upgrades for Ret. Instead, he's starting +1 flyer attack, which I find quite cool. And this is the other downside as well to going Corruptors against this composition, because you know your opponent is going to get Colossus out because you're going Swarm Host to Hydra, and therefore if you get Corruptors out you can deal with the Colossi, but Voidways deal with Corruptors so effectively, whereas Vipers kind of negate some of that problem. So I think we will need to see Ret either push in very soon before the Voidway count gets too high, or get a Hive up fairly soon as well. +2 missile attack is coming down. The upgrade advantage is there at the moment just for Verdi. He's sitting quite happily at 2-0. No armor upgrades, no double upgrades. Is starting +1 air weapons though. And now the Locusts start chipping all the way through. You can see the 3 Colossi do an okay job of dealing with these Locusts, but not before they actually deal quite a chunk of damage. They knock out a gateway. That's frustrating. It's not terrible, but it's annoying. The Swarm Host is, of course, just going to start waddling in. Actually, this is great positioning of the Swarm Host for Ret. He's going to completely split this army out of position from getting to the natural. The Locust going to start making their way forward. This could be a problem for Verdi now. He's going to have to pull back. Where is his Observer as well? It is with the army, I believe, so does know the Swarm Hosts are there, but this is good control out of Ret. By coming into kind of both positions, he's forcing Verdi to get in a very defensive posture. The Corruptors are going to try and get in. Only a few Voidways there, but 3 Voidways against Corruptors, not going to be enough. However, Storm is en route. We've got the Templar Archives, all the Corruptors moving forward. Red is going to go for it here. A couple of Hydras at the side are getting lifted. The Voidways is not able to deal enough damage in time. The Colossi getting sniped down very fast here. Red needs to focus them. Of course, we do see the Locusts coming forward. A Time Warp being used. The Corruptors taking out pretty much all of the Colossi. They do get them all. The final Colossus falling right in front of our eyes. And Red now can just keep pushing in. I don't think he's got an answer to this. Yes, the Void Race can come forward, but once the Observer gets taken out, which surprisingly it hasn't yet, that would be pretty bad. But the Phoenix did do a good job of trying to focus down basically anything that can kill in any kind of ease that Observer. But yeah, now we're just seeing the Hydras get taken out. The Corruptor trying to deal as much damage as possible. The Hydras trying to fix through all of this, but the Cybercore gets annihilated. Of course, +2 missile attack is just 30 seconds away from completion for Red at the moment, and he's moving forward with these Locusts yet again. Only 1 Colossus out on the field at the moment. This is so difficult to deal with these Locusts now, especially when +2 kicks in. He'll start doing so much damage. The cannon gets taken out. The Zealots getting annihilated. So cost effective this is going to become very shortly for Ret, because he's just throwing 3 units at his opponent. The third base not getting sieged, but can do very simply. Yes, the Hydras are here, but the Hydras, while they are a bit of a glass cannon, photon cannons are not enough to really knock them out too fast. And the Locust, of course, preventing this army from Verdi coming in. Zergling streaming through as well. This is looking fantastically good for Red. He's going to be able to knock out this third base 100%. And of course, with this army, we can see the Locust just slowly chipping away at pretty much everything. The Nexus falls. The Templar Archives as well going down is a big loss, because that means Storm was never researched, and really no more High Templar coming down onto the field. The Observer is there somewhere, but Verdi knows it's too late, especially those Hydras coming from behind. GG's out. Great play by Ret there. And Verdi just showing that if you leave Ret to go and drone up, he's going to come knocking at your door with a very scary army. So congratulations to Ret there for winning. If you enjoyed that series, make sure that you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily, so I'll catch each and every one of you tomorrow for yet another new cast. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.